Oh, hey, what's happening there, YouTube? It's Brian House here for Housemade. 5 years ago in my garage, I took some pieces of scrap steel and tube steel with a drill press and an angle grinder, and I designed and prototyped the first Revolution 2x72 belt grinder. Since then, we have sold tens of thousands of these units, and it has changed my life. So thank you so very much for that. However, for the last few years, this prototype has been sitting under a table, collecting dust, getting rusty, and not much has been done with it. I often thought about doing something like, pulling it out of service and making a cool YouTube video about it and whatever else. I just haven't done that. I will say, though, today is the day because the Tsunami 3x79 belt grinder upgrade kit will attach to any version of the Revolution chassis, meaning going all the way back to Gen 1, all the way up to Gen 5. You can increase the width of the belt. You can get the new upgraded work rest and the 2 rubber contact wheels on the surface, and generally just increase the efficiency of this machine. So anyway, in order to get ourselves set up for success, I had to drill and tap a couple of holes, upgrade the handles. We put a motor back on it. We upgraded it to the new fast track system, and I think that we are ready to get this thing running like a Tsunami. So anyway, guys, let's get started. Okay, so step one, we're going to go ahead and take our platen arm. This has already been fabricated for you. Another cool feature of this upgrade kit is that there's no fabrication, meaning you shouldn't have to weld anything at all. We've done all that for you. We're going to insert the platen arm into the top receiver, lock it into place. All right, so we're going to grab our Tsunami D plate and the provided hardware. And if you're confused on the hardware configuration, don't worry. We include a PDF drawing of the platen assembly to show you exactly what goes where. The tools you're going to need for this are a 9/16 box end wrench and a 5/16 Allen key. We're going to take the flat washer over the 3/8 bolt. We're going to thread it through the hole of the D plate, and then that whole assembly gets threaded through the forward hole of the platen arm. Roll that D plate back, grab another flat washer and a nylock. Flat washer goes on first, then thread on the nylock. Doesn't need to be too tight at this point, just tight enough, snugged up. Then we're going to take our clamping handle, the carriage bolt, the split washer, and a flat washer. The carriage bolt threads through the slot and the rear hole of the platen arm. Flat washer goes on first, then the split washer, then the clamping handle. All right, so now you're going to grab your prefabricated platen backer and the provided hardware and bolt that into place. Okay, so now let's go ahead and install the rubber contact wheels to the platen, and there is a little bit of a trick to this. We have already pre-installed and pre-tensioned the axle hardware, so that's already been done for you. However, you can over-tension these, so just make sure that you follow along with this section, and the details do matter, okay? So we're going to start with the top platen wheel, and you'll see that the D plate has been pre-drilled and tapped for you. So we're going to line that up, and we are going to hand tighten this, okay? Just by hand, we are going to tighten this bolt all the way down until it seats against that inner nut. Okay, so you can see how freely that wheel spins, okay? We're just hand tightening up against that inner nut, okay? No wrenches were involved. We're going to take that nylock that we took off before, we're going to just thread it on by hand, but you won't be able to get it locked into place without a couple of wrenches. We're going to take a 3/4 inch ratchet and a 3/4 inch box end wrench, and we are going to lock this into place, ensuring all the while that this does not get over tensioned, okay? So just keep checking that. Now you can see here, the wheel is not spinning freely, okay? During that process, I tightened it just a little too much. So I'm going to just back it off slightly. Back it off just a little bit more. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for, okay? Nice and smooth, spinning on that top wheel. We're going to repeat that same process for the bottom platen wheel. Threading it on by hand so that we do not over tighten it. And then we're going to take that nylock and lock that into place on the outside using 2 3/4-inch wrenches. And since we're doing wheels, let's go ahead and grab the hardware for the tracking wheel. This is a 1/2-inch 13 bolt, flat washer, and a spacer. We're going to thread that into the tracking wheel. And then we're going to add a second spacer to isolate that inner race on that bearing. Take a couple of drops of Loctite 242 is my favorite Loctite, and put it on the threads. Go ahead and hand thread that into the tracking mechanism. Okay, I can't stress this enough. Same with the other wheels. You do not want to over tighten this bolt. You can grab a ratchet and just lightly seat it. Lightly seat it. We're talking light here. And just ensure that that wheel spins freely. Okay? Now let's tilt the machine on its side and install the drive wheel. You're going to need 1/8-inch Allen key for this, a little bit of a long one. I got this one at Home Depot to seat that set screw. All right, at this point we can throw a belt on it and just see if it runs right. I get a lot of questions about the belts for these. Some people are confused as to the sizing and everything else. A 3x79 belt is actually a very common size. You can purchase them from us. We partnered with VSM on these, so we have a large selection of belts on our website. You can also get them from Combat Abrasives, Maverick, Red Label, you name it. They all carry these belts. So let's go ahead and thread one on and see how the machine runs. This is really strange because this is the original prototype, and seeing it like this is pretty wild. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the tracking here. Fast Track makes that really simple. I'm gonna power it on about 10% in forward. Wow, it runs good. I'm actually really amazed that that tracks properly. All right.
Hell yeah, Brian.
Hell yeah. All right, so let's move on to the work rest. This arm has been fabricated for you, so it's a really simple install into the lower receiver. What I love about the new work rest is all the parts bolt up, so we make this really super simple. So we want to ensure that this slot is on top, and we're going to line it up with the left side of this bracket right here. Using the provided hardware, we are going to bolt it into place. Slide this up slightly, match the faces, and lock it down. We're going to take the massive work rest, position it on top of this plate. Using the provided hardware, drop it into place, line everything all up. It's that simple. And the build wouldn't be complete without our Tsunami nameplate. Couple things I want to talk about, technical details on the motor. If you're running a 2 horsepower motor, like most people who are running a Revolution, you're just fine. However, if you have converted your VFD over to a 110 input, you're going to want to go to a 220 input because you do need the full 2 horses out of that 2 horsepower motor. We purchased a 3 horsepower motor thinking we would need it. However, it's still in the box. We never actually took it out of the box. 2 horsepower is plenty strong as long as you're running the 220 voltage. If you're interested in building a Tsunami from one of our kits or upgrading your Revolution, make sure you go to our website, housemade.us, where you can find out all the information about it. I'll include links down in the description. Make it easy to get there and find out how you can revolutionize and ride the wave of our Tsunami system right here at Housemade. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love and support throughout the years. I hope to see you in the next video. My name is Brian House, and this has been Housemade.